Croeso. This is James, aka JP Harker, coming to you with another AuthorTube/BookTube video. I'm going to be talking about what I've been reading recently and what I'm writing at the moment. So, let's take a look. Last time I was reading one of the Uhtred books and I had nearly finished The Drums of War by Edward Marston. I had unfortunately low expectations for Drums of War and I was proven right. The main character is very, to use the modern phrase, very Mary Sue-ish. He's instantly brilliant at everything. All of the characters who have any sense of decency instantly love him. The only people who don't like him are the villainous villains. And he's just too highly skilled, too handsome and charming and dashing and selfless. I couldn't get invested in him, unfortunately. As I said in the previous one, I might be a little unfair in my judgment of this because I had just read a Sharp book and it's easy to compare this with the Sharp books unfavourably. I mean, Bernard Cornwell is a genius. So, yes, I wasn't impressed, but I can't say that I was looking at it objectively. There we go. Uhtred, what is there to say of Uhtred? I love Uhtred's books. I love the character. I love the world. I've yet to be bored with one of the Uhtred books. There's not a lot more to say about that, I'm afraid. I'm thinking of maybe starting the series all over again, because the reason I was reading these ones was I'd accidentally read the series out of sequence. So I thought, oh, I'll pick out the ones that I've missed. I'm now sort of tempted to go back to Last Kingdom and go through them all again, but that's quite an undertaking. I may do that, I may not do that. It depends. We shall see. What I've started reading this week is The Poppy War, and I've seen a few people on BookTube reading this. I have mixed feelings so far. The world seems interesting and the protagonist seems interesting. I'm not that far into it. But it has hit one of my, ironically enough, one of my sort of pressure points in this book, because it has a lot of martial artsy stuff, and me being me, I love martial artsy stuff. But it has one of my major pet peeves that I'm hoping is rectified. It has the protagonist learning martial arts from a book. It's no spoiler to say this, it's very early on in the story. She's at a disadvantage because all the other people have been learning since they were very young. She's at a huge disadvantage at fighting, and their instructor doesn't like her and doesn't let her train with the other people. So she has to learn on her own. I've done this in other videos and I've done this in a blog article. One of my real pet hates in film and in book is when you see someone developing fighting skill from training on their own. That doesn't happen. I've been training martial arts my whole adult life. I'm a jiu-jitsu instructor and have been for most of a decade. I can guarantee you, just learning on your own, you'll get somewhere, you'll learn focus, you'll learn technique and balance and strength and important things. But without actually facing a resisting opponent, the vital principles of fighting won't be learned. Things like distance and timing, and most importantly attitude. You can try and train those on your own all you want. You need to train against an opponent for those things to become instinctive. And I fear, I really do, that our main character is going to be reading all of her books and looking at all the secret techniques and secretly practicing at night and working out all of these complicated things. And I don't care how clever you are, I don't care how dedicated you are, without the reality of a resisting opponent, you can't make that work. Daniel San should have lost. I know they've done Cobra Kai as a TV series and they've rectified a lot of stuff, but seriously, the only good training you see in that would train you how to fight is from the Cobra Kai. Because while they may be, I want to say, unpleasant people, they train to fight. And if you took their training and Miyagi's training and put it together, you'd end up with something pretty special. But you won't learn fighting from a book. That's my little rant of that, so I'm very much hoping that that gets rectified in the Poppy War, because otherwise I'm liking the story, I'm liking the world, and for the most part I'm liking the protagonist. And I hope that pet peeve of mine doesn't spoil it all. So watch this space. That's what I've been reading so far. I've also been reading, beta reading for Buggy. I've finished her book. I'm not going to reveal much because I'm not sure how comfortable she'd be. It was an interesting one because starting it, I thought, I can read this objectively, but it's not my sort of thing, because it's not the sort of genre I would normally read. And it began with me thinking it was for quite a young audience. And as the book went on, it started to grow, not more adult as in everyone suddenly started getting eviscerated, but it started to feel a lot more grown up, and we started to get some genuinely scarier concepts as opposed to just there's a monster. So I liked that about it, I have to say. For the most part, it was well written and well crafted, and I was surprised that I became invested in sort of the second half. The first half was I'm reading it and examining it. The second half, I became more interested in the story and what was happening. So I'm not someone who gives out lots of praise, so that is praise from my perspective. Ask anyone who's trained under me, I don't give praise. So that is very much positive feedback. It was very good. Right. Speaking of feedback, I have been giving Proud Fox out to people, and most people have come back saying very good things about it. One of my oldest and closest friends, who has proofread every one of my books, also says it's good. Except for this and this and this and this and this, and he is busily and dutifully nitpicking it, and I love him for it, I need him for it, but it means I'm now going, oh yes, we need to mention that there's straw involved in the construction of Cobb, and we need to... So, yeah, that's going to add to my editing a little bit, but it's all good, it's all going to make it a better book in the end, and he likes the story and characters, which is the important bit. He's just, yeah, he works construction, so I have someone building a house, and he's ripping that apart. But that's for me to worry about. The other stuff I've been working on my spin-off book, which of course I shouldn't be doing. I should be working on my Caledon saga, but I'm very good at doing work I shouldn't be doing. So I'm working on that. Been doing a little bit more of Blood and Woad. I wrote a fairly traumatic chapter the other day, which I'd planned out and been putting off. And it's necessary, and it puts things into context, and it helps our protagonist, who's been living a slightly sheltered life, to realise this is an introduction into the real world. But it's never nice writing things, believe it or not from the stuff I've written, it's never nice writing things that slap your character in the face. So I'm feeling a little bad for that. I'm going to write something vaguely comedic to make myself feel better. But yes, that's where that book is at. We're still at the early stages, but that's where it's going. I shall keep you posted. As far as writing goes, that's it. I'm recording this on the day before I begin a secret mission, which is part of an expanded idea for the Caledon stuff. Some of you watching will know of this secret mission and will know to keep it secret. Those of you who don't know, you'll keep it secret because you don't know about it. Right. I think I've been mysterious enough for that. So I shall wrap this up quite quickly. I've been reading these things, most of it good, some of it okay. I'm hoping Poppy War will turn out to be as good as its promise. I've been working on my stuff and getting feedback. I've been reading other people's stuff and giving feedback. And I have a secret mission. I think that'll do us for now. So, this is James, aka JP Harker. I shall see you again. Will Vowed.